the 11 p.m. and then
That one is meant to go.
yeah,
2 a.m. I'm not sure.
yeah, exactly.
That's one thing we didn't get lucky with. It's just
Certainly the
very
case.
different.
Certainly. So true.
It's been like maybe 3 games in the season with Arsenal. Like, obviously, like
It's kind of like a 9:30.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like yeah. What the hell is that? Lineman's?
The what?
It looks like it's a back on this.
Right, I've got my tablet with things that I've
Yeah.
God decreed. Yeah, that's right.
It's all from NBA stuff.
First, God said, Wednesdays are for Nike Cup football. And it was good.
Any issues lately with NPL or any improvements or problems you faced? Because I'm not following the email so much. What's going on?
You're looking for some gossip, are you?
I guess. Ways to improve them or don't get to the stage.
Yeah. Nothing relevant to you, I don't think. No. Yeah. I'm just going to run over.
Nike Cup quarter-final football comes to Jubilee Park for the very first time on this Wednesday evening of Victorian State Football's domestic cup competition. We're down to the final 8 teams, and it is very much a case of David beats Goliath as Ringwood City welcome Bulleen Lions to their home venue in Melbourne's East. Ringwood City currently sitting in 10th in the VPL women's competition, welcoming top of the tree in NPLW Bulleen. It's a significant task before them. As for the Lions, they'll be looking to rebound from a shock defeat on the weekend, taking on lower tier opposition. Very much all the expectation on the visitors in tonight's game. My name is Oscar Rutherford. Thank you for your company. Looking at the teams that both coaches have sent out for this evening's game. A couple of changes each way to both starting 11s. Ringwood City making 2 changes from the team that took on Keilor Park on Friday night, falling just short in a 1-0 defeat. Captain Gemma Douglas comes into the starting 11 alongside Eliza Johns. They take the place of Carla Prasuti and Dana Tamos. Tamos, who starts tonight on the bench, whilst for Bulleen, Liam Aldeary continues her rotation with Caitlin O'Brien reclaiming that fullback position, whilst Paige Zoyce makes a start in the Bulleen Lions 11 for the first time in a long time. She's taken the place of Rosie Roger, who will start tonight's game on the bench. Very much a momentous occasion for this Ringwood City team, who've been climbing their way up the divisions in recent seasons. And after finishing in comfortable mid-table in Victoria's second tier last time round, they now have found themselves struggling somewhat over the last couple of months. But it's been a nonetheless very impressive development in the 4th and 3rd tiers of Victorian football in the space of the last 5 or 6 years. Going through the rest of the Ringwood team, in goal is number 1, Brooke Bennett. As mentioned, number 4, the captain, Gemma Douglas. Number 6 is Melanie Martinez. 10, Amanda Stevenson. 11, Daphne Papamichael. Number 12 is Fatima Ayubi. 13, Cassie Semple. 14, Talia Velez Rodriguez. 17, Eliza Johns. 21, Medina Ali. And 30 is Christine Hugh. For Bulleen, with those couple of changes, in goal is Erin Hudson. Number 2, Liam Aldeary. Number 6, Isabel DeHarkers. 8, Alana Byrne, who will be partnered in that midfield by number 10, Paige Zoyce. Number 11, Araha Little. 12, Mila Bullich. 15, Lourdes Gonzalez. 17, Maya Markovsky. 19, Nia Soler. And 22, Alana Cortolino. So very much a strong Bulleen lineup named. A team that could readily take to the field for NPLW action on the weekend. Very much indicative that Caitlin Friend will not be taking tonight's game any easier than the majority of their games that they come into Bulleen. Just a little bit of a delay to our start. Not entirely sure why that is the case, but our referee is out in the middle of the park and both teams just keeping warm early on. Just taking a look to the left of your screen, the net is getting some quick pre-game repairs, so you should be able to see in just a moment. The assistant referee over there, one of the ground marshals, trying to make sure it's good to go for tonight's contest. Just an opportunity to build a little bit more of the anticipation and the nerves for Ringwood City as they prepare for this mammoth contest. Does look as if we are now just about ready to go. Our central referee, Lazaros Pantelides, getting set. And indeed we are underway at Jubilee Park. Ringwood City playing their first Nike Cup quarter-final. And taking on a behemoth of a task in the form of Bulleen Lions. Bulleen, who've had an almost perfect season in terms of results, just a couple of losses to their name, and both of those to the Essendon Royals. But outside of those games, Bulleen have won every single time they've taken to the field. Ringwood City, on the other hand, as mentioned, struggling somewhat in VPLW this season, but it is the cup where they have played their best football. Those very much the words of head coach Lee Hobbs, and formerly in charge of Casey Comets. And we see early it is the Lions who've taken control of possession. And no doubt that's what we can expect to see for the majority of the night. The task for Ringwood of keeping their shape and discipline at the back. This is Isabel DeHarkis, who plays it through towards Gonzalez. Slided pass looking for Markovski, but quick off her line is Brooke Bennett. The Kiwi goalkeeper brought in from Casey Comets. It's very much a strong flavour of former Casey Comets players under the former Casey Comets head coach in Lee Hobbs. And we will quickly turn over possession, so Bulleen will be starting from the back once again with Isabel DeHarkis, their star American import from this season. Ball played out to the right-hand side, Liam Aldeary. It's Fatima Ayubi making the defensive run, tracking back. DeHarkis now out to the left-hand side, where Araha Little is to make a foray forward, hoping to find Gonzalez, but met by Medina Ali. Ringwood City's 1-0 loss to Keilor Park in the weekend just gone. Continued a bit of a poor run for the home team tonight. 6 consecutive league defeats. It's very much been their cup form, which is keeping the positive vibes flowing out at Jubilee Park. Once again, Brooke Bennett, quick off her line and alert to the danger. You can expect to see a lot of those long through balls or over the top balls. Particularly Markovski hoping to latch on to one of them. This is Ayubi. Uses Christine Hugh. Now Markovski though for Bulleen. Has Cordolino. Looks like she's just been able to stay on side. Cordolino puts the cross in. Beats everyone. Chance still alive as Gonzalez in towards Markovski now. It's a good couple of touches. Got under the ball with the final shot. First real sign of danger posed by Bulleen. Cordolino making the run and timing it expertly. Neither Nia Soler nor Lourdes Gonzalez could get there in time to poke it home. Now Ringwood City attempting to play out from the back this time. Doing so reasonably effectively. Melas Rodriguez looks towards Cassie Semple. In the process, Ringwood have conceded the corner. Paige Zoyce going over to deliver. Number of tall targets in the penalty area for Bulleen, the likes of Markovski and DeHarkis. Zoyce goes direct. It is DeHarkis who meets it with the head. It's cleared off the line though. Zoyce could get a second crack at it. Does indeed put the cross into the area. Now Markovski looking to manufacture some space for herself. Uses Zoyce instead. Smothering the ball was Bennett. He's been heavily involved in this first 5 minutes. And this time, just looking to relieve a little bit of the pressure on her back line. Sends it up and asks Daphne Papamichael to chase. It's quickly turned over to the visitors. Ringwood City, a club who was climbing the ranks in recent seasons, have also proven very capable of developing players, playing not just at Victorian state level, but bigger picture than that as well. Because Jackson Irvine was a former junior here at Ringwood, captaining the Socceroos last night. Closer to home, the likes of Rebecca Saber really made her name playing for Ringwood and now doing real damage at Alamein in the top flight. This is Maldiri. Just to play it out towards Cordolino, but Velez Rodriguez reads it nicely. Talia Velez Rodriguez, formerly of Burundara, in fact was part of the Burundara team that won promotion to the MPLW in 2022. Now Ayubi has always used the body cleverly. Now Little looks out to Saleh on the left-hand side. Miller Bullich. And now Maldiri making inroads, looking for Cordolino. The first touch though got away from her. So a strong start to the game for Ringwood. They've navigated the first few defensive passages of play effectively. It's interesting to see both the long and direct approach from the goal kicks as well as attempts to play out. And this is the latter that we're seeing right now. As Rodriguez wasn't able to take control of that pass. Markovsky looks towards Cordolino. It's good use of the body though. And Talia Velez Rodriguez is able to win her team a goal kick. The voice of Lee Hobbs instructing his players for what's such a significant task. Worked their way through the first line of the press well that time, but Melanie Martinez's pass is too far ahead of Papa Michael. Mel Martinez, a name that will be familiar to NPLW viewers, having played for the likes of Bayside and Box Hill in the past. And also played a pivotal role captaining Casey Comet's team. Very nearly achieved promotion last season. DeHarkes' long ball over the top is a good one for Saleh. Saleh and Ali compete. Forward in the end, forced to be a bit more patient. Now Bullich out towards Maldiri. This is Cordolino. Gets past Velez Rodriguez, Alana Cordolino. Cross inside, Markovsky got the shot away. Still Cordolino. Uses Zoyce. Goes for the far corner. Was never quite, I think, balanced enough to get the curl that you needed in towards that top left corner. And Brooke Bennett once again happy to claim for sending it high into the night sky. Amanda Stevenson was the target. Stevenson pinches it off the toes of Mila Bullich. DeHarkes there though to cover her central defensive partner. DeHarkes and Zoyce combined. Used to seeing a lot of the Bulleen creativity coming down the two flanks. And you can see rather that Bulleen have brought high tempo early in this game. Very much aware that getting caught into the trap of just being sucked into a slow, patient game really play right into Ringwood's hands. An early goal, no doubt, Caitlin Friend would have demanded from her team. Ball played through by Maldiri is a good one. Just a little bit too much on it for Gonzalez to get there ahead of Bennett. So it's 10 minutes successfully navigated by Ringwood City. Gotten through to this stage with 3 wins in the previous rounds. Avondale, Eltham Redbacks and South Yarra all falling at the hands of this Ringwood City team. Bulleen, meanwhile, have played just a couple of games, knocking out Alamein first before a 5-0 win over Burundara. They very much kicked into gear in their previous outing in this competition. That ball through, Markovski's going to get there in time, and the finish is somehow wide of the post. You would have thought for sure that Maya Markovski, the season that she's having, just about bet your house on that one, bulging the back of the net. It's a lucky break for Ringwood. That was certainly as close as either team have come in the early stages of this game. Really, if you're Bulleen, you'd probably pick anyone in your team to be in that position. You'd pick Maya Markovski. Shot going ever so narrowly wide. Markovski's got 9 goals to her name this season in just the 12 games. So a success rate of 75% in games that she's taken to the field. Maybe just finding her footing in an unfamiliar environment. That a good sign for Bulleen that will ease a little bit of the tension, that they've been able to manufacture a really clear-cut chance. Ringwood on that run of 6 defeats. The last couple have been by very narrow margins though. Chance here for Cordolino. Once again gets away from Velez Rodriguez. The cross inside. And this time Markovski makes no mistake. Alana Cordolino creates the chance with her pace and guile in behind the Ringwood defence. And that one was an even more straightforward finish for Maya Markovski. He makes it 3 from 3 in Nike Cup games in which she's scored this season, adding to a prolific goal-scoring rate in the NPL Women's as well. And Bulleen have that early goal they would have been very keen to get. After just 13 minutes played. For the first time, Ringwood very much carrying the onus, creating a chance or two themselves. This is Ayubi. This is out to Maldiri. Coming across was Velez Rodriguez. It's far from a surprise that Ringwood have been under this mountain of early pressure. Lee Hobbs admitting in a video package that Ringwood put out prior to tonight's game that his team did indeed come into the game as serious underdogs. Takes confidence from their performances in the Cup thus far. It haven't been reflected in some of their league results. No doubt this is the biggest challenge that they have faced up until this point though. Nia Salaire winning a corner for Bulleen. Corner this time from the far side. The header comes in off the crossbar. And somehow the ball has stayed out of the Ringwood net. And very nearly striking twice in quick succession. But the woodwork keeping Ringwood in touching distance. That ball through. Very nearly latched onto by Gonzalez. So a tough couple of minutes for the hosts. That long ball did pick out Stevenson, but it was a difficult one to control. And as a result, Bulleen quickly regained the ball. Naldiri's moved over to that left-hand side. Darragh Little is now on the right. Miller Bullich into Harkis, who is often the case for Bulleen, spending plenty of time with the ball at their feet. It's a splendid ball over the top from Isabel to Harkis. Maldiri's going to get there in time. Keeps the ball in play. Gets past one, but Medina Ali was well positioned. And early on, the set piece count piling up for Bulleen. Certainly one of their strengths, the dead ball situations. Corner again is on the head of Brooke Bennett, who got something on it, but at the back post was Alana Byrne to head it home. It's a second goal for Bulleen. They're really stamping their authority on the contest right at the minute. Despite the best attempts to deal with the corner sent in, no one was keeping tabs on Alana Byrne, who'd snuck out the back. Had a fairly straightforward finish from her position. Second early goal for Bulleen, taking the sting out of really this contest as a whole in the first 17 minutes. So the question now very much becomes what the plan is for Ringwood from this position. You'd imagine they would have had discussions about the possibility of falling an early goal or two behind. The approach was going to be. But of course, fighting your way back against this Bulleen team is much easier in theory than in practice. You see the Lions dominating the possession early, and every time Ringwood get it, the press is immense. And then if you send it long, the likes of Bullich and DeHarkers are aerial experts. Now Markovsky works herself into a bit of space. The cross came in. It was cleared at the first instance. Chance still alive though. Long range attempt from Zeus. Ringwood City defence holds up on that occasion. Cassie Semple making an important contribution. This is of course one of two Nike Cup quarter-final fixtures taking place tonight. The other out in Melbourne's west is Keilor Park, the team that Ringwood City played just the past weekend. Host their own Nike Cup fixture. That game coming against Bundoora United. So in fact the last two opponents of Ringwood City in the league going head-to-head in that other quarter-final. Ringwood perhaps feeling that they've drawn a bit of the short straw, taking on this Bulleen team. And worth acknowledging that a huge amount of the success of Ringwood is apparent just by being at this stage of the competition. We've mentioned a couple of times that it is their first. Also, I thought as Daphne Papamichael looked at having a run in towards goal. Dina Ali's pass. Michael not able to get there in time. Chance for Cordolino. Down the right-hand side, Bellas Rodriguez engage in battle once more. It's the Ringwood defender who wins out on that occasion. Ringwood City do have admirable history in women's Victorian football, champions of the Premier competition back in 2000. The last couple of decades have seen a bit of a decline down the tiers. Now, however, climbing their way back up the pyramid. This is Markovsky. Gets the cross in to where Gonzalez had all the space she needed. Got under the shot. That's another golden chance that Bulleen have manufactured. Once more, bit of a failure to convert, perhaps. A little bit too comfortable, Lourdes Gonzalez, with the state of this game early. It's somewhat understandable considering that Bulleen had this game precisely where they wanted, as Isabel DeHarkis tries for something quite spectacular. If you look at the last few years for Ringwood City, loaded into the VPLW in the 2022 season, having previously been promoted from State League 2 a couple years prior in 2019, and of course accounting for all those COVID interruptions, and it was the year before that in 2018 that Ringwood were promoted from State League 3. So it's been 3 promotions in just the 6 years, really the 5 years that Ringwood were able to achieve. And you consider the COVID interruptions as well, that's probably delayed that progress. Well, this season hasn't quite gone to plan. Huge credit to everyone behind the scenes at Ringwood and their investment in the program. And the reward is nights like tonight, and you take on the very best that the state has to offer. Although maybe the players won't be feeling so lucky right at the minute, as Bulleen continue to build more and more pressure. Make it a really uncomfortable evening for the Ringwood defence. That cross left a little bit to be desired. This is Markovsky. Turns into a little bit of space. And now Cortolino. Look to get it onto her left, where she would have had a clean shot on goal. Velez Rodriguez has performed admirably in the early stages of this game. It's a task that causes the majority of MPLW defenders serious headaches. Bulleen, such heavy favourites coming into tonight. They are hoping to go one better in this competition than they did last year. Cortolino, cross inside. Markovsky couldn't redirect the ball. A little bit deeper in the box was Lourdes Gonzalez. That one difficult to control, had plenty of fizz on it. Bulleen, as we were saying, making the final of the Nike Cup in 2023. Losing out on the big day, though, to Calder United. A fate that many a finalist of the competition have faced when coming up against Calder in years gone by. It is this year, though, feels a very open competition for the MPLW teams to take advantage of. It's Bulleen, the only one of the 4 tonight playing in the top tier. This is Zoyce. Ball through. Velez Rodriguez gave it away to Markovski. It's a second of the night for Maya Markovski. That one really served up to her on a platter. But a composed finish into the far corner. And Bulleen have their third goal. They seized a commanding lead in this quarter-final tie and look well on their way to booking their spot in the final four. Bit of a shame that one for Velez Rodriguez, who, as mentioned, has been assigned one of the bigger tasks in Victorian football, with Alana Cordolino running at her for the majority of the night, and has had her share of wins in the first 25 minutes or so of play. Now Markovski gobbling up that chance. This is Papa Michael, goes for the cross. Her Little got herself in a good position though. There's the attempt from Eliza Johns. That one will go down as a shot on target. So baby steps forward for Ringwood. Right, more top tier teams still in the Nike Cup, and we look ahead at next week's couple of ties. They take place on the Tuesday night when Brunswick Juve host FB Emerging, and Spring Hills welcome Preston Lions. This is Markovski. Mondiri back to Zoyce. And now Byrne looks to switch the play. A little bit too much on that pass out to the left-hand side. When you look at the teams still in the comp, you'd feel that it is very much Bulleen and Preston's final to lose. We could well see them drawn against one another in the semis of the comp. The two of the top three teams in NPL Women's Victoria, in fact the top two teams in NPL Women's Victoria. Both will be fancying themselves to potentially go on and lift the trophy at the end of the competition. There's a long-range attempt from Nia Saleh. It's a comfortable take, that one for Bennett. Instructs their team to push right up the field before hoofing it long into the Bulleen half. It's Tahakas again, best position to restart the Bulleen attack. Call from Lee Hobbs. Don't drop. It does leave Ringwood vulnerable for a long-range through ball, as we saw it was attempted there by Mila Bulich. Otherwise gives them as good a chance as any of winning the ball back high up the pitch. Eventually Bulleen have worked their way into a slightly better field position though. Tahakas. In towards Markovski, and now Zoyce. Gonzalez asked a little bit too much of herself, running between 3 or 4 Ringwood players. Now Tahakas slides it towards Markovski. Saleh. That time lost out to Gemma Douglas. Ball cleared by Ali. Despite the best attempts of Martinez to take control, it's a little bit too hot to handle. Little uses Saleh, gets past Douglas, cross inside, Gonzalez with the shot, and eventually the ball sent away from goal by Velez Rodriguez. It does result in another Bulleen corner, which Paige Zoyce makes her way over to take. Zois corner finds the head of Tahakas. It was a powerful one too. Christine Hugh positioning herself in the ideal position to get just enough on it to lift it onto the crossbar and behind for another Bulleen corner. That ball gone beyond retrieval though, so we will get a new one sent over to the far side where Paige Joyce is ready to try her luck again. This time it's the short corner routine. Gonzalez and Cordolino with the winger. Is flagged for offside. Just over 31 minutes played here at Jubilee Park. Bulleen at the start of the game that they would have been hoping for. 3-0 lead with a couple of goals from Markovski and one for Alana Byrne. Another attempt to pass from Semple into the feet of Saleh. Now Markovski uses Zois. This is near Saleh. Gets the shot away. Aiming for that far post. It was ever so slightly wide of that of her target.
He's a random woman. Hello.
At your age, maybe it's okay to make those mistakes.
And you see Ringwood really struggling just to get out of their final third with the ball. It's undoubtedly a serious dilemma for Lee Hobbs and any coach in his position when you're taking on opposition who are better resourced and have the better individual quality. This is Zois, turns into some space, opts against the shot, and instead looked towards Alana Byrne, who was arriving late. Now Maldiri goes herself again. Attempt just curling away from goal. So Brooke Bennett will make her way over to retrieve the ball for the goal kick. So we'll yet again get to see the approach. We've seen those long goal kicks have been very difficult for Amanda Stevenson, competing with two of the best aerialists in Victorian football. If you play it short, well, Bulleen are a nightmare for pretty much every team in the NPL women's competition when it comes to playing out through this incessant Bulleen press. You can only imagine the challenge it poses to Ringwood tonight. They've done a decent job on that occasion, but a little bit unfortunate as it rebounds off Eliza Johns and out for a Bulleen throw. Perhaps the hope from Ringwood that Bulleen will relent somewhat in the second half with their lead as comfortable as it is. Maybe that will give them a chance a little bit more football in a way that challenges the Bulleen defence. This is Little. Has Gonzalez. Now Zois with the right boot. It's a lovely strike, but an even better save from Brooke Bennett. It was an awkward one to deal with, really swirling in the air. Bennett got a really strong palm to lift it over the crossbar. And so the fourth goal for now is kept away. That corner again to the back post. Kept alive by Bullich now. Markovski sneaking in, looking to give herself a first half hat-trick. Now Ayubi races out to a combination of Zois and Little. Again, Ringwood look to take the chance to get bodies up the field. Make life a little bit more uncomfortable for particularly the centre half pairing of DeHarkis and Bullich. DeHakis takes on Stevenson, gets the pass out towards Gonzalez. Now the cross in from Maldiri. Little touch on the way through though, took the pace out of it, and Bennett's able to claim. Now Papa Michael. And that right hand side, gives her team a throw. It's a positive outcome for Ringwood. Chance to get all the bodies into the Bulleen half of the ground. Let's see. Well, that's every outfielder, stepping up to the halfway line. Doesn't last long. Ball slid through by Maldiri, hoping for Alana Cordolino. It wasn't quite on the same page. Bulleen still sitting comfortably clear on top of the NPL women's ladder. 5 points ahead of their nearest rivals, Preston. 6 ahead of the team that's beaten them twice this season, the Essendon Royals. And as we've seen in the years gone by under Caitlin Friend, this Bulleen team can be a regular season machine. Really is just a question of bringing their best on the big days against the best teams. These kinds of matchups, they generally navigated supremely well. As we've seen in this first half, they are just relentless in the way that they suffocate opposition teams. This is Bullich. Uses Zoyce. Looks to find Maya Markovski. Despite being well cut out by Martinez, there's no one on the end of the pass deep into the Bulleen half. DeHakis uses Markovski. Now Cordolino. Uses the space on the left-hand side where Gonzalez goes for the long-range attempt, and it's come off the woodwork. The chance is still alive with Cordolino. Now, again Cordolino. And somehow Ringwood get the ball clear. Not for the first time in this half. The frame of the goal doing them a major service. And keeping Bulleen at bay. It was a wonderful attempt from Lourdes Gonzalez. Bennett really just stood still and watched as it sailed towards the top corner. Markovski uses Maldiri. Tries a tricky couple of touches. Fatima Ayubi looks to hunt down Bullich. As does Stevenson with DeHakis, but Byrne is there to relieve the pressure. One ball through. Asks a lot of Liam Maldiri, who's been here, there and everywhere in this first half, switching flanks and getting up and down left and right wing. Might be able to hear the lone voice of Captain Gemma Douglas. This is very clear. Keeping control of the ball when they get it, showing the necessary composure. As we've seen in this first half, though, easier said than done. This is Little. Out to Soler. Cutting inside and using Gonzalez. This time hoping to play through Maya Markovski. Bennett got there in time. run through was Malgeri, and it's a lovely pass to set away Cordolino. Cordolino in towards the middle of the box, but somehow Brooke Bennett does it again. It's a wonderful save from the shot stopper. Yeah, Saleh was there at the far post. The angle very quickly closed down.
We're on the stairs. Just on the stairs.
Well, despite the fact that the scoreline reads 3-0, say that Ringwood defence has put in a number of really great individual acts. This ball double-fisted away by Bennett. Now looking to lead the charge in the opposite direction is Papa Michael. Ayubi unable to get there ahead of Little. So Bulleen will restart play deep in their own half. Brooke Bennett is an admirable performer, despite 3 ending up in the back of her net. Could well be a 4th coming up as Maya Markovsky makes the space, but the shot, well, she never looked like she made the right kind of contact, and it rolls harmlessly wide of the post. Another big chance for the hat-trick is passed up by the former Victory striker. Ringwood now with just a handful of minutes left to see out. Ali does enough to get through that first line and combines with Eliza Johns. But in the attempt to get then to one of the members of the front third, the lane defence converged so effectively. Johns looking to win the ball back a little higher up the pitch. Now Saleh makes some space on the right, gets the shot away. It's a save with the legs this time from Bennett. And is there on the follow-up as well. You could forgive some of the Bulleen players for trying their luck from range. They've had an endless stream of chances to pull something out of very top draw. Maybe the only thing from some of their attackers' perspective that will have been missing from this first half. Those really special finishes that you can see on nights like tonight. Now Ara Little in towards Gonzalez. He's going to get there first. Wants to toe poke it past. The angle was too severe. For the 4th or 5th time in this half, see the ball rolling narrowly wide of the post. We've also seen the woodwork struck on more than one occasion. And even when Bulleen have been on target, Brooke Bennett's been there more often than not. And there by Cordolino. John's there. As is Hugh, but Markovsky winning it back for Bulleen. Well won back by Martinez. And even in those moments, support just isn't there. Good for the Ringwood attackers, so often feeling like they're chasing a lost cause, so even when it does pay off, everyone's really quite prepared for that moment. And there's Rodriguez. Denied the initial pass from Cordolino. Maldiri is through. Ali coming across. And it was a foul. So there will be a chance as we head into first half stoppage time. And another set piece situation. It's Paige Zoyce, who again will be tasked with the delivery. Lazaros Pantalevis just ensuring that the ball's being placed in the right position and the wall the requisite distance back. Zoyce. It's a good ball as well. Found the head of Gonzalez. Wasn't quite anticipating it to come as it did. And so the ball rolls harmlessly behind for another Bennett goal kick. And when I say harmlessly, we may have lost another of the balls.
Come get this soda second.
Yeah, come on. You don't want a coffee?
No, thank you.
Markovsky. Now Zoyce. Defensive cover provided by Papamichael. And that will bring an end to the first half. A commanding scoreline and a commanding performance from Bulleen as they head into the break with a 3-0 advantage. 2 goals for Maya Markovsky and 1 for Alana Byrne. Sees Caitlin Friend's team in pole position to advance to the semi-finals of the Nike Cup. 45 more minutes for Ringwood City to add some positives for them to take out of their first ever quarter-final appearance in this competition. Have to wait and see in the second 45. Join me again for it in around 15 minutes or so. But at the break at Jubilee Park, Ringwood City 0, Bulleen Lions 3.
Here, most of the time, but it's always on the attack. What should they do? Play more physically, tackle, hurt the opposition just to show them the game. I can't like sit in the back. I hate to be the fan. Yeah.
Followers, what does he mean, followers?
Look after yourself.
They're filming it, they would have seen mine.
Yeah. The wing backs, yeah.
Two passes, just two passes back. And then I tell everybody to run forward. Just kick it.
I guess because the way to make it is their candidate is really do it together. No, they're wanting to just like stay really tight and make it down.
Every time she tries to play it off to this side, just stay short.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I do.
That's what I was thinking of doing, but then I already told her I was coming, so. Huh?
You're a nice person.
No, I'm not.
What group?
Yeah, I think he got pointed, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Stocks of this.
Yeah.
I like that guy. Him and Kaufman are two of my favorites.
I think this is their coaching or personality.
Coaching, he's famous for marching the bus.
Yeah. This is shit football. Yeah. Yeah, you can say that, yeah, actually. Yeah. Well, I guess there's a reason I don't say that. I guess there's a reason I don't say it. I was okay saying American. Yeah. Freedom. Yeah. Just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself really hard. Yeah. That's right. Okay.
One of them. I was exhausted. I didn't make it.
You're doing those ones?
Dude, done. When the game started, yeah, I was playing right side. I was trying to impress the coach, yeah. So I make this crazy run down the line. I make this tackle on that terrible ground.
Right, yeah.
No way I would have gotten to it, but I slide anyway. Like freaking, Taylor was got up. I tried to run back. Out of breath. And they counted exactly from where I was.
Did they score?
No, my friend defended.
Okay.
But I just remember running and I was just laughing from myself from laughing because my friend was so smiling so much. Because you come back, it's a cut.
15 minutes sub. No, we can't do it.
It was like a trial game.
Right.
Impress the coach. I was just like, oh, this good player.
Coach was like, I don't think you're the right fit for us. I have a different vision for where we're going as a team.
You don't need someone who runs once.
Yeah. And then destroys himself and then comes it back.
So unfair, man.
That'd be a new kind of strategy. Just have a player who's one job, which is like one really fast run and like done.
Done.
Yeah.
If it's like, yeah, why not? If it's like working.
Yeah, exactly.
One good cross. And that's it. It's like one of those guns in video game you get one big bullet for.
That's right. Yeah. Big explosion. That's about it. Yeah. Yeah, and I just got very early on playing with very good friends. So that's all.
Give me the PlayStation.
We can love not moving. I'm right. Yeah.
Couch check. Funny story. I was at, so I moved to LA. Did you? I lived there for like a year and a half.
Did you? I know I knew that.
Yeah.
When?
2011 and 10 to 12.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And my roommates, I love FIFA, so I started playing FIFA. And my American roommates tried to get involved with the game. They were into their own hotel in the hotel.
Yeah.
And, which I hated, because every 5 minutes there was like advertisement, and they loved it, and I was like sick of it. But the way they would play, you know, we pass, build up possession, beat the lines. They would give it to their goalkeeper and he would start running.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like,
I spent a lot of time doing that in my life. Yeah.
it's like,
Running the length of the field to go to the
like one of the funniest things I had to teach them was slowly.
That's what it looks like. Yeah. Yeah.
Once they loved it, liked it, they started getting into it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, all right.
What did you do in LA?
I was studying. Yeah. I used to study psychology and business. And then I got the wrong so I went to
Yeah.
They Corona became a free student.
I did not know that. I did not know that. So, which university or college are you at?
I love Vern. So East of Los Angeles was just a small town.
Okay.
Vern University.
Okay.
Beautiful.
For a year and a half. There you go.
Yeah, there was with bits. But, yeah. Got a couple of Olympics. Got obviously the World Cup, the Asian Cup, the men's Asian Cup in like 2015 or something. Yeah.
That was the year I moved. December 24th, just before the Olympics.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, I was going to say. We've got some different opinions.
Welcome back to Jubilee Park as we prepare for the second half of this Nike Cup quarter-final tie. Score at the break. Bulleen Lions in firm control, 3-0 advantage over Ringwood City, who are playing their first quarter-final of this competition. It's been a remarkable few years for the club. Very much facing an uphill battle from the first whistle in tonight's game. Underway for the second half. And Bulleen, well, interesting to see how they opt to approach the remainder of this game. Scoreline comfortably in their control. General play as well. See whether there's any relenting. Any chance for Ringwood to play a little bit more higher up the pitch. Does look as if there have been at least a couple of changes to the Ringwood team over the break. Dana Tamos, he's on the field, as is Daisy Collette. Tamos in the number 9, Collette the number 22. So perhaps hoping Lee Hobbs that some of the fresh energy can help his team and get their way, particularly out of their defensive third, where they spent a significant portion of the first half. So now see the first corner of the second 45. A number of set-piece chances for Bulleen in the game so far. This one Zoyce takes short, combines with Nia Saleh. Ball in, that's the chest of Gonzalez, but Dinar Ali sends the ball away. Araha Little takes the throw. It's a nice turn by Gonzalez. Almost got the shot away. It's fallen into the path of Markovsky. Eventually, though, Ringwood get the ball clear and play stopped in any case. Referee Lazaros Pantelidis. So first chance to play out from the back for Ringwood. Really, the approach is long and direct. The flick-on header from Collette. Stevenson was unable then to pick the ball up and carry on the attack. This is Isabel De Harkers for Bulleen. As Collette for company, and the underlapping run from Nia Saleh. Ball in, only as far as Dinar Ali. Now, Tamos. Needs to use her captain, Gemma Douglas. Ball given away, and Markovsky with the ball across the face of goal. Bulleen now trying Try their luck from the right-hand side. Bulleen from Maldiri. Not able to get there was Gonzalez. Nicely managed by Cassie Semple. All given away, and the through ball by Martinez looks to set away Stevenson. Bullich got there in time to send it out for a throw though. Positive sign for Ringwood. Looks like as if it's Fatima Ayubi and Eliza Johns who have been withdrawn to make way for Tamos and Colette. It is a positive minute or so for Ringwood. Now looking to pin Bulleen back, but the Lions find an escape route. This is Cordolino. It's towards Gonzalez, but Ali got there first. Down to the left-hand side, Saleh. Byrne uses Zoyce. And Aldiri out to Alana Cordolino. Cordolino crafting the first of Bulleen's goals, which was put away by Maya Markovsky. Markovsky's second being the third of the first half. Defensive giveaway pounced upon by the Bulleen striker. And sandwiched between those goals. The headed effort at the back post from Alana Byrne. A rare goal for the midfielder. Just over 5 minutes played in this second half, and some positive early signs for Ringwood City. They found themselves capable of getting through some of the Bulleen press and getting the ball up to the other end of the pitch. No, we didn't see it on that occasion. Little takes the throw short for Nia Saleh. It's back inside towards Byrne, but only finds Stevenson. Stevenson and Colette unable to keep control. Now Maldiri uses Cordolino. Great battle with Talia Velas Rodriguez in the first half. That's nice tracking back from Papa Michael. He's able to actually springboard a Ringwood counter-attack. This attempt missing out, but Mel Martinez is there to keep it going. It's a decent attempt as well. Papa Michael losing out to Zoyce on that far side. Really, despite the one-sided scoreline, it was a very admirable defensive showing in the first half from Ringwood. So heavily the underdogs as they are. Now Saleh goes back to Byrne. Now Zoyce uses Markovsky. Zoyce-Markovsky combination we've seen a lot tonight. Markovsky got the shot away, but the block was able to take all the power out of the strike. Make it a comfortable claim for Brooke Bennett. He was really a standout player just about for Ringwood in that first half, and the handball there called against Mila Bullich. So a great chance for Ringwood to get the ball into the penalty area. That is if they opt to go for the direct route. Dina Ali is the player who will stand over it. delivers it into the area. Michael looked to let it run. Bulleen do get the ball away though. And the long ball over the top. It'll just be sent to the opposition goalkeeper. Some more positive signs for the hosts in this second half. Little cuts out the pass. And Byrne uses Deharkas. This is Bullich. Liam Aldieri, who worked tirelessly throughout that first 45. Down the right and left-hand flanks. Combination was unable to keep Bulleen at bay as Nia Salet down the left-hand side. Plays it centrally where Byrne has a bit of space. Joyce has even more of it and goes from range. Paige Joyce. The ball stays out of the net for the moment. Markovsky puts it back inside and finishing off is Lourdes Gonzalez. Adds a goal to her tally in the first of the second half. Initial strike from Joyce, rebounding off the crossbar and really off the back of Brooke Bennett. Markovsky reacted fastest and teed up the number 15, Gonzalez, to add Bulleen's fourth for the night. A little bit of concern in the aftermath of the goal. Brooke Bennett staying down. She's been flinging herself at all sorts of shots in this game and on the whole done a decent job at it. Certainly hope that that's nothing too severe for the Ringwood goalkeeper. Often both sides a chance to regroup. Lourdes Gonzalez, who scored a brace in Bulleen's previous round of the Nike Cup in that 5-0 win over Burundara. She and Markovsky, two of the scorers, who scored on that night as well as tonight. I'm just waiting perhaps for Nia Salet to make it a hat-trick of back-to-back scorers for Bulleen in the Cup. Just as we've got this break in play, a chance to check in on the other quarter-final tie taking place tonight. Kicked off about 45 minutes before we did here at Jubilee Park. And there's Bandura United, who are the first team through to the semi-finals of the Nike Cup this season. 2-1 win away from home against Keilor Park. A wonderful achievement for Bandura, who will find themselves, well, the probability suggests, facing down 3 NPLW opposition, including, of course, Bulleen, the way things are standing. Play is now back underway. Pass from Bennett to Hugh is won back by Joyce. It's one way, then the other, but Medina Ali remains steadfast. Win for Bandura. A bit of an upset as well between two VPLW teams. Bandura 6th position, ousting the Park team currently sitting 3rd. Always a positive sign to see one of the lower league teams making a deep run in the Nike Cup. as is the case, looking to be the case for Ringwood tonight. I think so many before. You're a lower league team and you come up against the might of Bulleen. Tend to prove to be a couple of steps too far. This is Ara Little looking to slide through Saleh. Keeps the chance alive. Got some space on the right boot before using Byrne at the edge of the box. And that's a pattern that we've seen before. Dead for that fourth goal. Zoyce got that shot away. Chance here for Amanda Stevenson. Mila Bullich just enough to recover in time. Some suggestion that the central defender used her hand to keep control. Referee perhaps unsighted though to that. I have to say that the early signs in the second half have been more positive than they were in the first for Ringwood. Just in terms of their play going forward and causing some challenges for the Bulleen defence. Markovsky picks up possession in between 4 or 5 Ringwood players. And that's some nice football from Bulleen to get themselves forward. Cordolino looks to return the favour to the recent goal scorer in Gonzalez. But overhit the pass, so Brooke Bennett is able to collect the ball and restart the play. Well, as you may well be able to see, we seem to have lost power at Jubilee Park. All the lights have gone out simultaneously. So an exciting moment. And as if things weren't looking dim enough for Ringwood's prospects tonight. We find ourselves incapable of continuing with this football game. Just the scoreboard in the background, which reads 4-0 to Bulleen. We'll wait and see whether this proves to be a substantial delay. We certainly hope not. A couple of flashlights being brought out from the benches on the far side. Commentary position here on the balcony. We are right near the power board, the switchboard. It's being examined. Seeing that all switches do appear to be on, so not a clear explanation, and going for a bit of a reset perhaps to get things going again. We've got the brains trust of the Ringwood City MPs who are looking to find a way to get the power back on. I'm told that the club rooms have also lost their power, so it's nothing's tripped. Maybe a bit of overheating, not too sure. Assistant referee coming over to the side and trying to inquire as to how long we reckon we'll be without power. The response was, don't know.
Wait 10 minutes. From the
We can report that there are signs of life as the solitary light has returned to functioning and another one has joined it. So we are perhaps slowly crawling our way back to a functional light system. Just hearing from some of the club officials that it may take a few minutes just for all the lights to return to full brightness. Looks as if we are slowly getting there. Slowly having lightened down upon the hallowed football pitch. Almost all of the lights now on the left-hand goalpost, or the left-hand looking at your screen, have turned to action, a couple with full brightness. It's just the right one that is remaining unmoved, unchanged. Seeing both sets of players just making their way back out onto the pitch in anticipation of play resuming, so it is a good sign, even if we remain without the whole side of the pitch having any light going with it. Just listening into the discussion around the different light towers and instruction from the officiating team that we'll need to wait for that final light tower to regain power if we are to resume play. I'm concerned that maybe that one on the far right hand side of your screen, or in the far right corner of your screen, is the cause of the trouble. Of course, matters of safety, work health, place and safety come into consideration in these kinds of situations. The scoreline as it is, with Bulleen 4-0 up. There isn't a great amount of tension on the field, seeing a couple of the players from both teams intermingling. Good news for Ringwood City, if there are any deeper underlying problems with the lighting at the venue, is that they don't have another home game to come for almost a month, in fact. 7th of July, they will welcome Geelong Galaxy here to Jubilee Park. A couple of away games between now and then. Trips to Spring Hills and South Yarra. And those two top and bottom of the VPLW ladder respectively. Certainly at least one game that Ringwood will fancy themselves getting something out of it and working their way away from the relegation battle, which they currently find themselves. 9 points from 11 games, Ringwood City. A couple ahead, the Noble Hurricanes, and 5 ahead of South Yarra, propping up the pack. They're somewhat of a far cry from where they found themselves in season 2023, safely nestled in mid-pack, in mid-table I should say, finishing 6th at the end of the campaign. Well, the good news is the potentially troublesome light pole does have some light back with it. So maybe we're about to crawl our way back for the final challenge. And that has perhaps satisfied our referee that conditions are on the way to continue this quarter-final tie. Indeed, looks like we are just about to get back underway, and our referee blows his whistle. And so, this quarter-final tie resumes. Bulleen 4-0 in the lead. And the question now becomes whether Ringwood will give themselves something to hang their hats on at the end of the night. Not an easy situation for either set of players to have such a significant stoppage in the middle of a half. Still not fully lit on that far side. Just a common sense decision from our central referee to allow play to continue at this point. This is Araha Little. To Harkers, cross to Miller Bullich. And Bullich slides it through towards Gonzalez, the scorer of the only goal so far in the second half. Burn out to Little. Happy to be patient with the ball at feet. Harkers and Bullich, this time out towards Maldiri. Cordelino. Now near Salet. Every player in the Bulleen team getting a touch in this passage of play. Still they resist the temptation to pull the trigger. Up towards Soyce, who tried the clever flick on. The numbers were there for Ringwood to get the ball away, at least temporarily. It's a big week coming up for the Lions in MPLW. Monday night, they head up to the Olympic Village to take on Heidelberg, a resurgent Heidelberg over the last few weeks. Will be anything but a straightforward task for Caitlin Friend's team. Cordelino does enough to win a corner. The Bulleen coach will look towards the bench anytime soon. A huge amount of time left in this game. With that big game against Heidelberg coming up. This corner is again taken short, although the pass will look to be cut out for a moment there. Eventually they do get the ball away. Ringwood City. Douglas finding herself on the left-hand side of the pitch. After that game against Heidelberg, it's back to the Ven to take on Burundara before the big game away at Lakeside. Take on South Melbourne at the end of the month. There's a number of significant contests on the horizon for Bulleen. Teams vying for final spots. Chance for Ringwood, but Martinez is out-muscled. Stevenson very nearly pinched it from Byrne. Gonzalez gets towards Markovsky. Ali missed the initial clearance, but Markovsky couldn't adjust in time. Markovsky, who still is sitting on a hat-trick. Will this be the chance to get the third goal? Brooke Bennett has other ideas. Ringwood do appear to be readying another change. Sienna Salisbury standing in the position for the next break of play to allow for the substitution to be made. It's a lovely pass to set away Gonzalez. The cut back towards Markovsky, but will have to settle for the corner. And that break will allow substitution to be made. It's Amanda Stevenson who will be withdrawn and replaced by Sienna Salisbury. Stevenson, who's fought somewhat of a lone battle at times tonight. Difficult evening for the Ringwood striker. Will be the former Bayside junior Salisbury, who's thrown into the action to defend this corner. Delivery, as it has been fairly consistently, at least when not taken short, goes right into the middle of the box. That time though, Ringwood did well to get the ball clear. Healy Hobbs continuing to yell and encourage his team to maintain that energy and push up the field. A hard slog, the team in orange, as we see a long-range strike from Zoyce. That one never looked likely to test Bennett in the Ringwood goal. Sienna Salisbury, the substitute, looks to have taken up that position vacated by Stevenson in the number 9 role. And the attempted goalkeeper clearance didn't get far, but fortunately Ali was there to hoof the ball back up. First chance for Salisbury to get involved, but DeHarkis runs away from her. And Zoyce plays it through to Cordolino. Still going Alana Cordolino, leaves it with a shot to come in. Paige Joyce very nearly. Unlikely goal from a long way out. An awkward angle for a right footer. But a little bit too much curl on it in the end. Douglas continuing to yell out words of encouragement to her teammates. Here is the captain, Douglas. Lost out near Soler. Hugh couldn't get the ball away. Soler gets the shot. And that one had lots of pace. Decent trajectory as well. Just a little bit too much in the height department though. And that change will allow Well, a flurry of substitutions will be made by Caitlin Friend. Paige Zoyce, Araha Little, Alana Cordolino, Lourdes Gonzalez all making their way towards the bench. Now we'll look to keep tabs on who are all the players who've been brought on. Jess Young is one of them. Caitlin O'Brien as well. Caitlin Stories into the contest. In the middle of the park, as is Rosie Roger. Sweeping changes made by Caitlin Friend for the final stages of this game. Decent touch by one of the substitutes, Jess Young. The right-hand side where indeed the final change saw Betty Michael brought into the game. It is all 5 outfield substitutions made at once by Caitlin Friend. That will, from a Bulleen perspective, look to maintain some of that intensity, give a chance. Some late moments of positivity. Betty Michael puts the cross in. It was behind her teammates though. Michaels attempted a cross-field pass. It's cut out by O'Brien. And they're better away by Douglas. Concedes a Bulleen throw. O'Brien makes her way through. And the decision is a goal kick. Did enough. Did Cassie Semple. Just when you thought that maybe some of the intensity and relentlessness of Bulleen might be easing up. See those 5 fresh players, all with a point to prove. And a team like Bulleen, with a team like Bulleen, which is as effective and successful as they are, who win as many games as they do, it can be really hard to break your way into a starting 11. Chance for some of these players to make their impression on Caitlin Friend. Betty Michael runs into a bit of trouble. Now it's Daphne Papamichael carrying the ball the other way. They're taken short by Velez Rodriguez. Martinez had a couple of opponents to contend with and did enough to win another throw. Rodriguez sends it through, and Colette was the target. Control for just a moment. And had to be quick off her line there, did Erin Hudson in what's just about the first involvement of the game, the Bulleen goalkeeper. Racing off her line to deny Sienna Salisbury. Now O'Brien. Play through. Salev at the offside flag brings an end to that attack. Hugh, and out by Story. Young finds Michael. Ali, as far as Young. This Young, a player who's featured extensively off the bench in this campaign from a South Melbourne midfielder. A knack for getting forward and supporting the attack. Young, this is Markovsky though. Plays it in to Jess Young. Looks to return it to a striker. Dina Ali read it well. And Story back to O'Brien. There's a number of the Bulleen substitutes where you can just see additional energy they've injected into their team. Will be Bulleen joining Bundoora United as the first two semi-finalists in the Nike Cup this season. As mentioned, Preston plays Spring Hill next week. It's the only all NPLW tie, so he's at the emerging take on Brunswick Juventus. It's down to 6 at the end of tonight. Chance for Martinez. Unable to return it to Salisbury. Story uses her strength to carry the ball out of defence. This is Roger. So the opportunity to start a couple of games in the last few weeks, Rosie Roger, with some of those injuries that afflicted Bulleen. And the Sato, big loss for them in the middle of the park. Means that Paige Joyce has returned at a very convenient time. Pass. Riley was on it quick. O'Brien. Back to Nia Saleh. She's toiled hard in the attack tonight. And anything but a quiet evening for the Bulleen front line. After 4 goals to show for it. Byrne and Bullich. Byrne has stepped into that central defensive role. Markovski slides it through to Nia Saleh, returns it to Markovski. And that was the chance for the hat-trick. Markovski burns the chance. It is, of course, not a matter of great significance whether Markovski ends the night with 2 or 3 goals, but it's certainly be nice for a player who's having such a fantastic season in front of goals. That hat-trick to her name. Here from Mel Martinez. Bullich, as ever, reading the ball early, but unable to prevent the corner. And so, we have a real chance for Ringwood City. Dina Ali makes her way over to deliver the corner on that far side. Goal would be sweet reward for the hosts tonight. Such a difficult game on the pitch. A fantastic occasion, all things considered. It's a nice ball as well. So as Rodriguez get closest, nearly in a position to head home. A reputation for scoring goals from defence. But now it's Nia Saleh charging forward on the counter. Despite being a player who's played the full 90, she's still got plenty of energy. Ball inside. A little bit of miscommunication between Young and Roger. Now O'Brien towards Story. Well blocked and defended. Daisy Collette. Story. It's away past Hugh. Now played out by Young. Eddie Michael. To be clever, Story was arriving at the edge of the area. Now Markovsky with the left has a hat-trick. Maya Markovsky had a number of chances to round out the night. And that one she took, kept her feet and composure, and buried it in the bottom corner as well. A lovely night. Lovely way to end things off for Maya Markovsky, who has that third goal. Takes Bulleen's tally to 5 for the evening. And that goal will also see Ringwood making, should be their final couple of substitutions. Looks as if Sarah Bell and Lara Baddock will play out the remainder of this game. Especially nice to see someone like Sarah Bell out on the pitch for such a momentous occasion for Ringwood City, a player who was a junior at the club and has worked her way through to the senior ranks. Now has a few minutes to try her luck against the very best that Victorian football has to offer. Another young talent in this Ringwood team, brought into the club from Croydon City Arrows. That's another local product. There's another 16 who's taken up that left full-back position. Hands pass, cut out by Semple. Chance for the run to be made in behind Salisbury. Even in the limited time she's had on the pitch, you can see it's mentally as much as physically exhausting task. This is Nia Salah looking to add her name to the score sheet. Doesn't finish off the chance, but arriving at the far post was Betty Michael, who makes it 6 for Bulleen. Ended up being a perfect teed up cross from Nia Salah. And Michael puts it away. Extends Bulleen's lead. What is a comprehensive performance from Caitlin Friend's team. Accustomed Bulleen to scoring bags of goals and continuing to pile on the misery for their opposition. 4 or more goals on 3 occasions in the MPLW this season, plus you consider the 5-0 win over Burundara in the previous round of the Cup. Most notably 7-0 win against Bentley Greens about a month or so ago. Ringwood City can take a degree of pride in that they've stuck at it, stuck with the task, as we see another shot fly wide of the post. Certainly no less competitive than a number of MPLW clubs in tonight's game, Ringwood, at least in terms of the scoreline. Danger inviting the Bulleen press. Well, one back there by Tamos. Continue to run forward. Every time a Bulleen or Ringwood player even contemplates getting on the ball in the Bulleen half, they're quickly closed down by a number of Bulleen, well, not just defenders, but players from all over the park, whoever's nearest. Sixth goal, Bulleen have surpassed their tally that they achieved in the semi-finals of last year's competition. It's a similar situation to this. Bulleen, who advanced to the Final Four and headed out to Salandra to take on Casey Comets and came away with a 5-0 win on that evening. Of course, the final result wasn't quite what they were after, but one better as they have tonight. So I hope they can also go one better the Nike Cup as a whole. As Medina Ali has been one of the standout players for Ringwood tonight. Some really good anticipation. Just going to cut out some of the Bulleen attacks. Still, the instruction comes for Ringwood to push up the field when they get the chance. Tired legs, it's a big ask, as Caitlin O'Brien, someone who'll be feeling a little bit more comfortable, having come off the bench not too long ago. Combination between Story and Markovsky ends with Roger. O'Brien's look to pick out Betty Michael, the most recent goal scorer. Doesn't go precisely to plan, but does end in a corner. Well, the tally would be well into the double digits by this stage of the night. Well, to only take one of their goals from these situations, Ringwood City, disciplined, persistent with their defensive efforts. Once more, the target, I think, was the middle of the box, but I'd say that was one of the easier ones for Ringwood to defend. It goes straight out of play for a goal kick. Douglas, again, faced down by Celeb. At that time, does enough to come away with the goal kick. A really memorable occasion tonight for Ringwood City. Should not forget that it is the first time that they've reached this stage in the competition, which follows on from a series of league successes and promotions over the last 5 or 6 years. And they're a club very much heading in the right direction. The next competitive fixture is a major task, though. Heading out to Springside Recreational Reserve to take on ladder-leading Spring Hills. That game happening in around a week and a half's time. They'll need to pick themselves up heading into that game in the remainder of the season, which they'll be hoping to pull away from the lower rungs of the VPLW table. It's a very different task for Bulleen. This has been a nice fixture for them to rebound from the weekend's defeat. Now it's a question of replicating these performances against higher quality opposition as the season heads towards its pointy end. Bulleen have a really fantastic opportunity to pick up some silverware, some long overdue silverware as well. Rosie Roger makes the run deep into the Ringwood half, uses Betty Michael, cross inside, Young's there, gets the shot away, well blocked by Cassie Semple. Story very nearly pickpocketed by Sienna Salisbury. Continued her efforts and gets a throw as a reward. It will be taken by Lara Baddock. Make another venture into the Bulleen half. She's done much more regularly in this second 45, albeit the scoreline nearly one-sided throughout. Bulleen adding another 3 to their half-time tally. Looks for Markovsky with Medina Ali now. Too much on the pass. Well, even at this late stage, the scoreline as it is, see how structured Ringwood are out of possession, continuing to make life as difficult as possible for Bulleen. And in the end, it is the Lions who roar through to the semi-finals of the Nike Cup. 6-0 winners on the night here at Jubilee Park. 3 goals in either half. The hat-trick for Maya Markovsky to go along with it. Dominant display from Caitlin Friend's team. What was on the whole a momentous night occasion for Ringwood City. They're doing many good things with their women's program. No doubt will continue with their upwards trajectory over the next few years. Thank you for your company for tonight's cup tie. Bulleen proved too strong in the end. Will make their way through to the semi-finals. Will fancy themselves a strong chance potentially picking up some silverware in the Nike FC Cup competition. Full time at Jubilee Park. Ringwood City 0, Bulleen Lions 6.